Hello and welcome to The Unspoken, a platform for the advocacy on health and social issues in the uncomfortable conversations using people's personal stories. Joining us in this conversation is Isabel Radoli.
Women empowerment, that is giving opportunity for women to speak, opportunities to be heard, opportunities to showcase their skills, abilities, as well as potential. Basically it. Not really, they're different because women equality involves having them in spaces that men are, them and their thoughts and their words and their speech as equal, their contribution as equal to that of a man. But women empowerment is all through, just giving them an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to share, an opportunity to discuss, and an opportunity generally to be the women they are at their topmost optimum. They're being empowered to speak, because when you think of the village woman who maybe has no formal education but has value to add to the society, just taking them to giving them information about the chief's baraza and giving them an opportunity to speak up at the baraza, that's empowerment by itself. When you think of a young girl who in other cases will not receive education and has education because of certain policies and structures and things that have been put in place for her to learn, that's empowerment. When you look at someone like me who has received her formal education, is outspoken, putting me in a room where I can use my voice, that's empowerment. So it means different for different cadres of women. One, there was a head start for men, both at a cultural level and also at a patriarchal level. The world in general is patriarchal. The African culture is no better, where the woman, you'll find like in the men of the Nile or in the people of the Nile, the women are counted alongside children and cattle. They're counted as property. It is among few Bantu communities where the women had the opportunities to expose their potential, to expose their abilities, to expose their skill sets. So the men had a head start. Now we're in a generation where the women are catching up, and they're catching up fast. And the risk of that is, while the women are catching up, the men did not move forward. So you find women, young girls, women, ladies who have been empowered, but they don't have any compatible companions or worthwhile contenders within their age groups. So they end up pairing up or feeling more comfortable with advanced age groups. Yes. It depends. Who is this man? Is this man aware of himself? Is he aware? Is he secure in himself? If a man is secure and self-aware, then that's a compatible match. If the man is not secure in himself and has not done a lot of self-reflection and work on the inner self, then they cannot handle an empowered woman. And this has no regard to age, because I have met young men, much younger than me, whose minds, EQ and IQ, emotional quotient and intellect is beyond their years. So it's not a respecter of age, the compatibility issue. Because one thing is, to be compatible is an intentional issue. To be mature, rather, is intentional. Though the researchers will say that women mature emotionally faster than men, there's scientific truth in that. But it's up to men to be intentional. Not men, let me not be biased. It is intentional. Maturity is intentional. The ability to be able to withstand different personalities, different forms of empowerment is intentional. You have to be intentional and cultivate certain cultures that feed into handling the people around you. Well, in the modern age, when you're talking about boys, I'm seeing my nephews, I'm seeing my peers. Those are two different groups. My peers are struggling. Why? Because the generation before us was busy chasing after the basic needs, making sure that we had shelter, we had clothing. They really had time to give us soft skills. The soft skills we picked up at work or by force or from the internet. My nephews, on the other hand, who, due to their age and due to my age, I can be called Mama Mdogo or Little Mom. My sisters and I were intentional about raising these young men, that they will not be the same men that are in my generation or in my sister's generation. So you'll find this intentionality with the younger generation. We have become more aware of the risks of empowering women and sidelining men. But in my generation, it will take a lot of self-work. Because, first of all, the generation that raised us, again, their love language is provision. Once they provide, that's it. They don't know what bonding is. They don't know what quality time is. I paid your school fees. I love you. Period. That would be a wrong ideology about feminism. Feminism has nothing to do with that hatred or love for men. It's about me thriving in my womanhood. That's it. If we're talking about feminism, it's an independent constant by itself. It's not attached to how women relate with men, how men have undertaken and nurtured some types of inequalities over the years. It's basically enjoying the pride of being a woman. That's what feminism is. That I am a woman, I am skilled, I have a voice, I have opportunities that are accorded to me by merit, not by favor. And that is one argument that you find feminists having with people who do not understand feminism. Feminism is not about let women have the stand. No, feminism is about, can that woman take that stand? Put her there. Let her voice be heard. Yes.
Are all feminists women?
No. We have males who are feminists, in that whatever space they occupy, they advocate for female voices to be heard by the female themselves. Because we say, not for us without us. You cannot have a room that is discussing matters, let's say, period health or period shame, and have only 2 women out of a total of 10. Then what are men talking about periods? They don't experience it. They don't understand it. So it's basically just making sure these men, their role is making sure that to these contributions where women are needed, it is the women speaking for themselves. So yes, they're male feminists. Because they're used to men ruling. It's as simple as that. So when a woman comes to the space, humanly so, whatever is new, change, it's not always received with joy and celebration. It challenges, whatever challenges the norms is meant to upset the norm. So just by that itself, you find that people are not accommodative. I won't say men, I won't say women, because sometimes even women against each other, they do not agree towards the best route of action. So the reality is, feminism is there, women empowerment is there. It is up to each gender group to appreciate it for the beauty that it is. Because at the end of the day, because of the head start, and people accepting men taking certain spaces as the norm, it will always be an issue. But the more we advance, the more time advances, the more people open up their minds that either of the genders can fill certain roles, then we will be moving forward. My younger self,
Yes.
it's never that serious.
Just so.
Yes. I used to get so anxious and so worried about certain things, certain eventualities. And it got me to a point where it costed my health. Only to realize years later, whatever caused me anxiety is nothing. So it's never that serious. Breathe. Whatever is yours is yours. No one can take it from you. Whatever is meant for you will come your way. Just do your best and let's go.
Pause.
Continue being audacious. Yes, I love their audacity. I love that they're challenging norms. I love that they're outspoken because their time is valuable. Their voices need to be heard. However, the flip side of it is that it comes with a sense of entitlement, which is not healthy. It comes with a sense of urgency, which is not right. Because we have important, we have urgent. That generation needs to differentiate between the two. In that, yes, I'm audacious, I can speak my mind. But who am I speaking to? Am I speaking to persons who are in authority in terms of technical skills, in terms of age, in terms of opportunities? Then sit down, be humble, learn. Am I being audacious to my peers? Yes, they're your peers. Fight your own sides. Am I being entitled to things that I've worked towards? If you have worked towards it, yes, then your entitled is guaranteed. But if you have not put any work, any labor, any sweat to it, no one owes you anything. It's different. Let me speak at the workspace context, okay? Because that is what I'm most familiar with. I have worked with interns fresh out of campus or while in university doing their undergrad. And there are rules to every workplace. There's a rule. There's the 8 to 5, clock in, clock out. There's the dress code. There's the rules that you won't find written in documents, but they're social etiquette rules. So, for instance, when walking along a narrow hallway, you let your senior pass because they're your seniors. You cannot go squeezing into thin walkways with someone senior to you. That's disrespect by itself. When you meet people who are settled in a room, don't cause distraction. Come in quietly, sit down, listen. So for me, I find the entitlement to who they feel entitled to their space that is not necessarily theirs. Because if you're in the office, that's not your workplace, that's not your space. That's the employer's space. They have paid for your time. So you have no entitlement there. If they say 8 to 5, within those hours, you are their property. And that's one thing they need to learn. If it's lunch break, fine, walk out, come back within whatever lunch break you have been allocated. Not that you don't report at 8, then you're ghost silent on your employer. That's not right. Again, back to challenging the norm. Whatever challenges the norm will upset people. They are coming after a generation, the millennials. The millennials tried to speak out, but they were not heard. So they learned to shut up. The baby boomers did not speak. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Aye, captain. And they moved. So it's a struggle for millennials to understand them in that you're speaking and people are listening to you. Why didn't they listen to me when I was speaking? They do not understand that millennials cannot understand how I spoke. I was silenced. I was okay being quiet, and I'm telling you to shut up and you're not okay shutting up. They don't understand it. The baby boomers now feel like this is unprofessional because you cannot counter your boss. But the Gen Zs know you cannot know it all. No one is a master of all. The internet, social media, The key word here is gaslighting. What social media has done to this generation, because of its accessibility and its ease of use to that generation, and the amount of time people have in their hands across the world. Some get 2 followers, 3 followers, 3,000 followers. They feel these are people who actually like me. What they don't realize is that people go online for different reasons. People consume their content for different reasons. Among a TikTok following of maybe 1,000, only 10, 20 are genuine friends. The rest are there for entertainment. The rest are there because the algorithm brought them to you. So the loss where the Gen Zs, or the trap where the Gen Zs fall in, is to feel like these people are there for them. No, they're not there for them. They're there for the entertainment. They're there, if you're a pretty girl, they're there for your prettiness. If you're a handsome man, they're there for your good looks. If you have a beautiful voice, they're there because they hear you sing. If you have a talent in making people laugh, they're there because of your skits. They're not there because of you. They don't care about the person on that page. They care about the content. And I wish these young people on social media would realize that. Because it gets into their head because they think these people are here for me. No, they're there because of the product you deliver. And for social media, they are the product. Technology will never and can never replace the beauty of physical and in-person human contact. Because on a phone, I can lie to you. I might be sick to the core, but when I see it's you calling, I'll tweak my voice to make sure that I sound strong. I might be on video call. I will put numerous filters and use the best lighting. Then you see me in reality, you're like, that's not the person I had a video chat with, a video call with. So the moment we realize this is the moment then we will be more cautious with our presence and our consumption of these virtual forms of communication. Everyone will always need a hug. That's what I tell people. Eventually, you will always need a hug. This communication on phone won't do that. It will only mask and create better layers and better masks for you. Yes.